今年唐奖法治奖的得主，他是来自加拿大的法官 Louis Arbour。他个人呢，过去最重要的成就是对于南斯拉夫的大屠杀，他是这场大屠杀国际战犯法庭的法官。年轻的时刻，他就像很多叛逆的年轻人一样，他对法律既有的体制，如果超越了正义，或者是滥用了法律的权利，压迫了正义，他认为这样的一个法律系统是不值得尊重的。某个程度，他一直有一个信念：正义超越了法治。但另外一个部分，他也谈到了街头民主的危险。他说，让年轻人有一个空间去挑战既有法律的极限。但另外一个部分，年轻人在挑战这些街头既有法律的极限的时刻，也应该想到街头民主的危险。我们来看他一生所带来的正义与法律之间的思辨。
1995年代中期，前南斯拉夫的一个村落山丘，一具具尸体散布在冰冷的土壤中。总统米罗塞维奇被指控在战争中下令进行种族屠杀。
You can't indict a sitting president.
I promised these people that someone would pay for these victims. Someone would pay for these crimes. And how many arrests?
7.
3 years, you made 7 arrests? I understand suspects from Vukovar and other crimes are at large in all your zones. I was hoping you gentlemen might help me understand that.
The situation is quite complicated.
I can't try them until you arrest them.
This is not our war.
That's ludicrous.
That's politics.
联合国国际战犯法庭检察官路易斯·阿尔布尔不顾各方压力与阻力，抱着决心与耐性彻查到底。
How many genocides does one man get to wage? From now on, things are going to have to change. We're going after Milosevic.
正义出击这部电影根据真人真事改编。米罗塞维奇被迫下台之后，随即被逮捕并递交海牙，成为历史上第一个被送上国际战犯法庭的前国家元首。
Mr. Milosevic thought that he could keep me out of Kosovo, while I believe that he can't keep himself out of The Hague. We'll just see.
真实世界里的阿尔布尔是加拿大最高法院大法官出身，由于常年在国际社会上为争取正义及维护人权而努力，因此获选2016年唐奖法治类得奖人。阿尔布尔表示，法治可以是追求正义的途径，但是也有被误用的危险性。
It's a very important concept. It's reflected in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It's very much at the core of the values that the United Nations is trying to promote. The danger is that it can easily be misunderstood. Some, particularly some people in power, sometimes like to take the rule of law to suggest that it only means that they can exercise power as long as the power is governed by law. But by that they mean any law. That's not, in my view, so it's not an idea of being ruled by law. It means getting the protection and the benefit of the law. It means that nobody is above the law. Everybody is answerable to the law. But not any laws. It has to be laws that are just, that promote social justice, equity, and not laws that give power to tyrants.
阿尔布尔在退休前历任联合国人权事务高级专员以及国际危机预防组织 ICG 的主席，对阿拉伯之春的革命行动也有深入的观察。
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights anticipated that if there's no rule of law to protect fundamental human rights, people will rebel. That it's, in a sense, not only it's inevitable, but it's probably actually desirable that people stand up against tyranny and oppression. And that's why the promotion of the rule of law is important. So I think what we've seen in what was called the Arab Spring, I'm not sure what kind of a spring it really has been. If you look at what has happened subsequently, it was quite a short spring and a lot of not good seasons for Syria, for example, or even Egypt. But anyway, what this represented, I think, is exactly that, is people rising against political regimes that gave no scope for their their protection, their prosperity, their security, their human fulfillment.
阿尔布尔进一步谈到街头民主的威胁。
Sometimes may be seen as an act of tremendous courage, but it also carries a lot of very severe consequences. Some people lose their lives, and if it fails, as it has in some cases, it gives rise to an opportunity for more repression. It's a very dangerous, street democracy.
阿尔布尔对于阿拉伯之春之后，在叙利亚及伊拉克等国趁着内战动乱而崛起的伊斯兰国也感到忧心。
What we see with these emerging groups, we call them non-state actors, are organized groups that have, frankly, in lots of cases, as much power. They have money, they have weapons, they have a driven ideology, at times very radical. But international law was not designed to contemplate that kind of action. So again, this is an area where the rule of law, international rule of law, I think is going to need to evolve to contribute to the sort of peaceful resolution of conflicts. It's very difficult because these groups are not amenable to peace negotiations. They don't want peace. You cannot accommodate their agenda.
而针对极端恐怖主义蔓延之下的欧洲难民危机，阿尔布尔提醒欧洲民众不要忘记他们也曾经是流离失所的难民。
It's actually not a great time for Europe. That is showing itself falling short of the undertakings that it voluntarily accepted under the Refugee Convention. Europeans were heavily displaced during the Second World War. They are the ones who endorsed this idea of protection of foreigners for whom their own government is no longer the guarantor of their own safety. So I think what's happening in Europe now is very alarming. It's in a sense a repudiation of one of these very fundamental rule of law ideals of the 20th century.
阿尔布尔相信，从长期看来，人类的善意与理性终将超越自私与排他。但是短期而言，欧洲难民危机的现况并不令人振奋。不过，他还是很肯定德国总理梅克尔的表现。
I think she knew that there will be a backlash and a pushback, and she still kept that course. For democratic leaders, it's very tempting to rule by opinion polls and to follow the lowest common denominator. I think that's an abdication of leadership. So she, I think, has proven herself to be a great leader. I think now she should be encouraged not to yield to the pressures against her. On the other hand, I think the danger of extreme right political forces taking over is such that if she has to make some compromises to preserve the core of her policy, one would be hard-pressed to fault her. If her political judgment were that it's better that she makes some compromises rather than risk Germany sort of being turned over to extremists on the sort of far-right movement, I would certainly understand that position.
阿尔布尔女士在青少年时期读的是天主教寄宿学校，担任校刊助主编，在老师的眼里是个叛逆的孩子，这与后来的法官生涯似乎很不一样。专访最后，她以自身的叛逆和体制内改革经验，提出对年轻人的期许。
It's very surprising to me that most of my career, in fact, all of my career, has been very much in the establishment, in big organized institutions. That's not the way I saw the world when I was younger, but this is not unique. That's why, now there's a big movement to discourage what is called the radicalization of young people. Well, I understand they shouldn't be radicalized towards violence and very negative ideas, but we have to leave space for youth to explore the boundaries of a little disrespect and challenge to the institutions. If you're too conservative when you're very young, what are you going to be when you grow up? But you know, I was rebellious, but still within. I pushed the system, but not to the point of stepping outside of it. I'm very pragmatic. I believe in results. I believe in consensus. I believe in trying to bring as many people as possible into a core, lead from the center. So yeah, we grow up and then we become judges. What can I say?